Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network, aka Casper the Friendly Ghost. And today we're actually going to be talking about how much Casper do you need to be a millionaire. Now, we've recently talked about this with Q&T. Please note that I'm not including taxes or anything like that. We are just talking about how much value you would have if you invested X amount of dollars and Casper got to X amount of price. Now, big warning before we actually talk about this in this video. No, this is not financial advice, and please note that these prices could never morph into reality. Casper tomorrow could be a massive rug pull. There is risk to this game. Now, I'm not saying that Casper is a rug pull or anything like that. Trust me, I have a lot of confidence behind Casper. It is my #1 hold, most amount of value invested into one singular asset, and this is one of the gems that I personally believe in long term and short term. And I do think that the team is incredible behind it, hence why I do talk about it quite a bit on this channel. But just for the sake of this video, I want you guys to invest what you can only afford to lose. I am not telling you guys an investable amount that you should be putting into Casper or anything like that, because I do not I just do not do that on this channel. I'm not giving you guys financial advice. So with all that in mind, let's jump in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I'm going to give you guys my conservative levels on Casper that I do believe that could be targeted in this next bull run happening, as well as my non-conservative levels as well. So first off, we are going to go off this fib extension level that I have from the November high of 2021 to our recent low. Now, to me, I think that this is pretty conservative on the levels that we have. This is the most price data that we also have as well. Like going off the ICO pricing is a little bit more of a hopium sort of aspect, but going off of the November high and going off of the low, I could actually see Casper going to $1, and if it does outreach to the eighth fib level, up here, it would hit about $1.75. Now I know that this might not be in everyone's sort of alignment on what they want Casper to hit. I know that this might seem low. That is why it is a conservative level. So for me personally, I could see $1 to $1.75 morphing into reality. Hence, when we go over here, $1 would be about a $10.5 billion market cap, and $1.75 would be about an $18.4 billion market cap, sitting at about an upside of 43x. Now, with that in mind, let's go back over here and let's look at a few other areas. So a lot more price data here on some of these candle wicks. Again, fib levels do not give you a guaranteed amount either, by the way. Just to give you guys a quick insight, I just like to use fib levels because fib base levels usually always hit on most assets. This is how we scored some of the biggest wins during 2021. Most of my fib levels were on, at the time, the Graph token, Matic. There's a few other ones as well. XRP outreach to a perfect fib level on the macro. XLM, very similar. Q&T, very similar. HBAR, even very similar as well. So when we look at the fib levels, they usually do play into a perfect area of not only providing where resistance is, but also support. And you could actually kind of see that going off of the macro fib base levels here, where we actually have this candle hitting a perfect resistance zone. And even the November high actually outreach into a nice fib level, aka the 0618. So hey, it is what it is. Now, this gives us a little bit of a different picture. In fact, it looks like the $1.75 zone could very well be a possibility at the 4618, which is a very common area that most altcoins do outreach to. And then up here, we actually have the $3 price range, which again, just to give you guys a quick insight, at $3, we would have a market cap of about 31.5 billion and an upside of about 74x. And by the way, I'm not using coin perspective just to throw you guys numbers and say, hey, look at Casper. No, I'm using this just to give you guys a quick perspective on the market cap at these prices, which again, market cap does matter to an extent, because market cap, a higher market cap, aka if we say, okay, well, Q&T is going to go to a $500 billion market cap in this bull run, it's a little bit unrealistic. Again, this is just to kind of gauge on where we could go to. Some of the other ones as well, for an example, like if we go off of the support range on the weekly, We could even go to the 3-day span as well. The 3-day span will kind of give you guys a little bit more of an insight on some of the levels that we actually hit. We hit like about 70 cents here. 70 cents is a level that I could actually go off of because there's a little bit more price data here to kind of go off of. This would be about a $3.11 zone to about $5.38. Now $5.38 would have us pushing the boundaries a little bit at about a $56.4 billion market cap. I always kind of look at these assets and I'm like, is Casper better than Dogecoin? I know that's kind of crazy to say, but like Dogecoin did hit about almost $100 billion market cap. Casper does have a ton of listing potential of it behind like some of the top the top tier exchanges, like the number one, Binance, and then also Casper is expanding rapidly and the ecosystem is growing, marketing is kicking up, so I do think that there's a ton of catalysts behind Casper to actually push it to a possible $56.4 billion market cap. Dogecoin recently hit like 13 cents. I don't know what that is in terms of like market cap. So about a $17.8 billion market cap during a bear market. Again, we would be at like $1.70 at that market cap, which is crazy to me because that would be a 40x opportunity. But also, if we go off of the price data up here, so like if we went to the 1-day chart, for an example, and we came over here, this is just to show you guys that there is price data back here. There is a lot of price data back here at some higher valuations. For an example, like $1.38. $1.38 is also an area, which by the way, $1.38 is also with CMC's market cap range. So it's like $1.33. This is perfect. Now this is where we kind of get into unrealistic, positions, where we are looking at, okay, well, where could it go? In this aspect, we're looking at like a $6. So let's actually look into this. So we're looking at about like a $6.32 Casper to about a $10.93 Casper. Just to give you guys a perspective on this, so here is $6.32. I believe that was the full, $6.32. $66.3 billion market cap, an upside of about 154x. Now this, to me, could be a possibility. Now $10. Oh, sorry, not 106. $10 would put us right at about $105 billion market cap at 244x. This is hopeful, or I should say, like, this is wishful thinking, and this is where like you kind of get into the hopium stages. Do I think that Casper is established enough to hit $100 billion plus market cap? Maybe, maybe not. Again, I'm not sitting here trying to give you a full-on prediction on where I could see Casper. If I was going off of the unrealistic viewpoint, my targets are like possibly like $2.50 to $5, okay, during this run-up. Now conservative, like I said, conservative range, it's about $1 to $2. I think that is a perfect area, and that's a ton of upside. Remember, even at $1, this is a 23x. At $2, this is a 48x. Now, I'm not selling my entire stack or anything like that, but I'm definitely taking profits because this is a 50x opportunity. And this is a 50x opportunity, by the way, off of where the price is now. But let's talk about a few price targets. Let's talk about a few things as well. By the way, full transparency, a lot of these valuations are just rounded up. No, not an absurd amount. Like, for example, like $4.8 million here. This was about like $4.78 million. So $4,780,000. And I just rounded it up to 4.8 just to make it a little bit easier. But let's actually look into this. So I do have 4 cents being the investable price that we would be getting in at. Right now, Casper sitting at about like 4.13 in terms of the cent range. Now, I do think that this is most likely going to ride the support wave at around like 381. We recently came down to test about like roughly 383. Perfect range. On the 3-day span, you can kind of see where it came down to. It's still riding the waves on some of these levels. I do think that 4 cents is an area that you will most likely have as an opportunity. If it does come back down to test that 53-day EMA, it's about 3.8 in terms of the cent range. But nonetheless, let's look at this and let's actually take a look at a few things. So I do have the market cap ranges here from 1 billion all the way up to 100 billion, and I do have 10 billion, 25, and 50 billion in the median opinion range, as well as the price per Casper, the opportunity as well in terms of the X amount, as well as even percentage at about 140% at 9.5 cents. So let's look at a few of these investable amounts. So we have 1K, 5K, 10K, and 20K. Now, a lot of these are not easy targets for some individuals out there, and I completely understand this. And don't feel bad either, by the way. I know a lot of people, kind of compare and contrast in this market. I want you all to understand that, listen, even the best out there, even the most wealthiest individuals in the space, at one point in time were in the same situation as almost 99% of us. I know some of the wealthiest individuals in the space that have come from nothing. I also know individuals in this space that tout that they have a lot of money and they actually don't. Just to give you guys my full transparency, most of the money that I have made in my time was through my online businesses that I've morphed into investments, and I've made an incredible gain on those investments. Now, again, I'm not telling you guys this to give you guys I must be wealthy and blah, blah. No. I'm saying that everyone's situation is different. And investable amounts from even 1K is quite a bit, and you can make a lot from those investable amounts. For an example, we have at 1K, it would get you 25,000 Casper. We have a few prices here. So at $100 billion market cap, which, by the way, $100 billion in market cap, I believe could be a possibility around Casper long term, simply because I believe that Casper is a very lucrative network. I think that the opportunity here and their offering is very incredible as well, and it has a ton of, like I said, opportunity in terms of listings, as well as a lot of catalysts behind it. But again, my conservative range puts it at about $23,000 to possibly $60,000. At $2, this would be about $50,000 it would be worth. Remember, you do have taxes on this, but that is a substantial amount of money. But then I also have a few other areas here. So $5,000 would get you 125,000 Casper. In my opinion, if you are here and you have been here for a while, I believe that you should be accumulating to at least 100K Casper bag. The more Casper you have, the better. I always say that, in this game, you could get very, very lucky. And I say very, very lucky because it doesn't happen often. You can invest a small amount and it could be worth hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. I've seen people do crazy things. The higher the risk, the higher the reward, but the problem there is that you have a very high risk area in the space where people are throwing money to meme coins that could possibly net you 100x, 1000x, etc. It could change your life, but it could also screw you over by losing all your money that you were investing. But the reason why I say this is because the more money that you can invest and afford to lose, the better opportunity that you have. Meaning, for example, if I invested $20,000 into today's price, I could get 500,000, $500,000 Casper, and at $1, it could be worth $500,000, or even at $2, it could be worth $1 million off of $20,000, which is a massive opportunity. I mean, that's a huge, insane amount of money that you can gain off of $20,000. I'm not saying $20,000 is a small amount of money at all. I think that's a fairly large amount to invest into one singular asset. But I'm just saying, the more money, obviously, the better opportunity that you have in this space. But again, for the sake of the video, in my opinion, to get to $1 million in this, bull run, you would need a substantial amount. But when we look at some of the prices long term, and by the way, I'm just being very conservative. Like I said, my not so conservative range, which is a higher risk, meaning you could miss out on selling and taking profit, would be about $2.50 to $5. At $5, right, your 10K could easily net you $1 million. 125K Casper at $5 would net you about roughly $600,000 or so. And again, this is just talking hypotheticals because we don't know where Casper is headed. We could only kind of assume where it could head to if we are talking about certain market cap potentials. But again, this is not a very, very realistic viewpoint on things because, again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But in my opinion, what would be the investable amount? How much Casper would you have to hold to get to $1 million in the next bull run? Like I said, I think that a $1 to $2 Casper is highly possible. At that point, you would need 100 or 1 million Casper to 500,000 Casper. So you're looking at possibly $40,000 or $20,000 invested into Casper. I think that that is too high of a risk to put it all in one singular asset. I would diversify at that point because you might actually be able to net $1 million off of one winner. And what I mean by that is when we look at certain assets like Solana, Solana was a perfect example of a token that just did an absolute insane run. This thing did about a 560x opportunity run in this market. Do I think that all assets will do this? No. I think that you have a few assets that can do this. That's why diversifying is a good opportunity, because $1,000 at a 560x opportunity could net you 560 plus K. And I mean, technically, if you're looking at, I mean, what was Casper trading at this point? So down here, it was trading at 50 cents. So we'll say at 50 cents, you would have got 2,000 of Solana. I was about to say Casper, and it was trading at like 272,000. So or 272,000, $272. That would have netted you 544K. So again, opportunities like that do arise, and Casper could be one of them. Who knows? I mean, Casper could pull an absolute absurd X opportunity, like 238X. It could go to $10, and 100,000 Casper could be worth $1 million. But we don't know. We just don't know. That's why I say, like, at these higher amounts, I would just diversify into maybe like 2 assets, 3 assets. The more assets that you hold, I would have like a certain amount, like maybe 5 assets that I'm diversifying into. I wouldn't really go over 5. It's a little bit harder of a portfolio to manage after 5 assets. But I'm just saying, like, at this point where we're looking at crypto being so early, some of these assets like Casper long term could be a 500x, a 1000x. We just don't know. But with that being said, I would look at possibly getting a 100,000 Casper bag, because I think that 100K Casper staked on Casper.live, not on an exchange, by the way. Never stake on an exchange. I'm just gonna give you guys that. But 100,000 Casper staked could net you some great passive income, and also, like I said, at some of these higher prices, it could very well be worth a significant amount. Like I said, at $50 billion market cap, which ADA did that same run to like almost $100 billion market cap, like this would be an absurd X opportunity, and you could net an absurd amount of money. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. This is up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys don't know this beautiful world, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.